Blanco from the Department of Political Science, University of the Philippines, Diliman. I'm here with you right now to discuss the key objectives, the key findings, and the key implications of my paper entitled on migration intervention and solutions, an afterthought, which was recently published in the Asia Pacific Social Science Review. Basically, the key objective of the paper is to analyze and offer some policy capacity solutions in addressing and dealing with migration issues and challenges, and be able to apply these policy capacity solutions and remedies in the national, regional, and international context. The paper revealed four key findings. The first one is the first policy capacity about forging an international treaty on sea migrants. It's very critical that the sending state and the receiving state should have an interstate agreement, not just on the bilateral basis, but even on multilateral or even international treaty, to ensure that there is a safety in terms of rescue operation and the safety embarkation of those migrant refugees traveling by the sea. Because there have been a lot of lives lost in those migrants who are traversing the sea in Europe as well as in Southeast Asia. The second policy capacity or key finding of the paper is that there should be an institutionalization of the migration center in the national, regional, and international level. It was Betts who envisioned this one, and he tried to propose that in terms of international bargaining, there should be diplomatic channeling between the sending state and the receiving state in terms on the size of the refugee that the sending state is sending, and as to what extent can the receiving state also accommodate. And when we say institutionalization, it's about the creation of a body or an agency or a structure within the government or even regional government or international governance that would oversee and regulate and govern migration on a permanent structure which has not only merely regulatory power or policy formulation function, but rather was enforcement, prosecutorial, executory, and implementation powers and functions. Now, when we say institutional adaptation, it's the ability of the state to cope up with the changing and sometimes unpredictable patterns and modalities and behaviors of migration. And one way of doing this is to come up with some institutional framework or institutional design on how to approach migration, even in the local, regional, and international setting. And the third one is that the policy capacity that there should be what you call diminishing or easing the pressure and opportunities for immigration as applied to the sending state by advocating or adopting developmental models by Martin and Wiley. When they talk about three solutions, the first one is that there should be what you call political restructuring or political reforms on the part of the sending state by eradicating graft and corruption, by job creation, by promoting investment opportunities, and by prioritizing education as well as less of graft and corruption. So in that way, their citizenry would no longer leave the country and would prefer to the state. The second solution that they wanted to propose to diminish the pressure of immigration is by having a heavy foreign direct investment that would precipitate the emergence of companies that would eventually create jobs. So if there are more jobs, that would mean there will be more food on the table. That would mean more opportunity for the kids of the family to attend education and eventually also to have their jobs as well. And the last element of that is the granting of the official development assistance, which is very essential in trying to promote microfinancing and trying to support livelihood programs for those people who are in the poverty level so that they could have entrepreneurial spirit and entrepreneurial opportunities to be able also to build and better their lives. And the last policy capacity solution offered by the paper is by engaging in participatory or multidisciplinary and what we call militant researches. It was Bretter and Holyfield who conceived the word uh, bridging the gap between theory and reality, between crisis and solution in terms of migration, by way of uh, multidisciplinary perspective or lenses, and veering away from social hegemonic dominant theme or discourses on migration. And this was concurred by Pirelli and Tascioli as well when they coined the word militant studies, in which they opined that study migration should also break away or demolish the European-centric narrative or discourses in understanding migration, but rather it has to employ a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary epistemological narratives and methodological tool in conducting investigation or research in migration. In the end, the paper realizes and implies that migration reflects our dreams, our hopes, and our ambition in searching for a better world and making that world a better place to live. It's about migration is about overcoming our fear or conquering death itself by not allowing death to weaken or demoralize us to have that push to live another day. It's about overcoming our wretchedness, our frailties, our indifference, our selfishness, our greediness, our vicious lifestyle to be able to celebrate life and to be able to view life in a positive way.